Participants ready? Opponents?
Yeah.
Starting now. We affirm.
Public forum debate, or PF, is a 2-on-2 debate event. Teams debate against each other on a resolution or topic that reflects current events. Because PF is designed to be an open, accessible debate, everyone should feel comfortable judging the event. This is reflected in the name, public forum. The objective of each team is to convince you, the judge, their side of the resolution is preferable. As the judge, you evaluate opposing teams' arguments and determine who most effectively argued their position. It is important to note that your role as a judge is to evaluate the competing arguments in the round. Your views on a topic and your beliefs on the ideal response to that argument should not factor into your decision. Because debaters are required to argue both sides of a topic, it is necessary for the judge to remove any personal biases when evaluating the round. Because the debate is persuasive, it's helpful to review Aristotle's 3 modes of persuasion: ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos, or ethical appeal, establishes credibility through convincing the audience on the character of the author. This is done through delivery and use of evidence in the speech. Pathos appeals to the emotions of the audience. Logos is persuasion through the use of reason or logic. In addition to the modes of persuasion, there are 3 key areas to consider when evaluating PF: argumentation, interaction or clash, and team balance. Argumentation. Debate is an exchange of ideas between debaters. As a judge, you are not determining who is the better speaking team, but rather who best utilizes the modes of persuasion to respond to their opponent in the round. As such, declarations relying on charismatic delivery are not well-developed arguments. To have a complete argument, a debater should establish his or her claim or response to the opponent's claims, the warrant or why the declaration is true, and establish impact or why it matters. Arguments lacking this structure should not be given the same weight as fully developed arguments. Simply put, you are not evaluating dueling speeches, but rather an interactive exchange of ideas where each debater is responding to the other's argument. Interaction or clash occurs when a debate team explicitly responds to an argument made by their opponent. As the round progresses, consider each team's case and their opponent's response. Additionally, should a team fail to respond to an argument, the unaddressed argument would carry greater weight if developed in later speeches, since the opponent tacitly agreed to the argument by not responding. As you determine the winner, ask yourself which team is responding to and discrediting the opponent's responses. Who is advancing the most significant arguments in the round? Indicate this on the ballot. Team balance. Because PF is a team effort, it is important that the ideas in the round remain consistent between partners. If one partner only addresses the economy and his or her partner speaks only to political impacts, there is a lack of consistency between the teammates. Instead, speeches should connect by building off of one another. If a team's speeches feel disjointed and disconnected, the arguments will lack development. A couple final notes. First, another important issue to keep in mind when determining a winner is that you should ignore arguments that are introduced for the first time in the final rebuttal by a debater. This is important because the opposing side may not have any opportunity to respond to a new argument. When determining which arguments you assessed best persuaded you that the pro or con won the debate, consider whether the opposing debater had a fair chance to provide a response. An argument presented for the first time is one of the last 2 speeches would not meet this standard and should be disregarded by the judge. Next, it is important to note that your role as a judge is to evaluate the competing arguments made by the debaters. Your views on a topic and your beliefs on how to respond to an argument should not factor into your decision. Since debaters are required to argue both sides of a topic, it is necessary for the judge to remove any personal biases when evaluating the round. Overall, remember the job of the debate team is to communicate to you. Record on your ballot what arguments convinced you to vote for their side of the resolution. Thank you for judging, and enjoy the experience.